gear.
Yes. This is
I
not the
don't.
newest and greatest and best gear out in the Conquest vendors quite yet, because so the damage and the health will be increased. I'm really curious to
I'm
see
so
how that's going to
scared.
translate.
I'm so scared. I
Are
don't
you
know what
scared for the Mage
I mean,
Moonkin, man?
I'm scared for everyone. I don't know what it's gonna be like. I mean, you're like you watch this and people are. I see people saying like, "Oh, it's a long game," but um, when people scale up, it's gonna be pretty nuts. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. But a great series so far for the day. I'm so excited about all the games. I mean, these players have definitely come to play, and they are doing just that. But up next, we have Foul Esports versus Donut. Yeah, no worries about that. Follow Esports versus Donut. So, I mean, we have Wallabear, Abster, Jellybeans, and Vossel going up against Balance, Jeff, Kappa, and Cy Foxy. Now, I mean, Follow Esports, they have that Jungle Cleave, they have that FLS available to them. We haven't seen an FLS played in the qualifiers or in the main tournament quite yet. But what compositions do you think that both of these teams are going to be choosing going into this series?
Well, they've got Windwalker DK and they've got Feral DK Holy Paladin on the side of Donut. So again, a very cleavy team, whereas Follow Esports have the Jungle Cleave and the Feral Lock Shaman. So I think we would expect Absters to be playing Shaman. This specific matchup, it's pretty scary, especially if they decide to go with the Windwalker DK. So I'm curious to see if they're going to play FLS or jungle. It's really a toss-up. I mean, the jungle is going to have a lot of roots. Probably is a bit safer than Vossel against Donut, so I'd probably expect the jungle cleave from Follow Esports and probably the Windwalker DK. They could maybe surprise them with the Feral DK, though. That would be a better option, I think, into the jungle than the Windwalker.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see. I mean, we've seen Follow Esports time and time again. When they're put their backs up against the wall, they take out that jungle cleave and they make things happen with it over and over and over again. Jellybeans being such a great hunter. So, I mean, it could go really either way. Donut, I mean, we see Jeff just put out some crazy DK pressure in the past. Cy Foxy, renowned for being one of the best feral druids in NA. Kappa, the renowned Holy Paladin in Balance. You guys know who Balance is. He is the Windwalker dream, living and breathing proof that Windwalkers can still compete. I mean, sort of, right? But Balance definitely here. I want to see. I don't know what's competitively the best for Donut against Follow Esports, but I just want to see some Melman. I want to see some Windwalker. I don't know about you, man.
I think the Feral DK is a safer pick, as much as I love giraffes. But I think the Feral would maybe be a safer pick into the Jungle Cleave, just because Ferals are immune to roots, whereas Balance is going to be eating a lot of roots if they decide to go with the Windwalker choice. Both of them, I think, are pretty fit. I actually would favor this matchup to Donut, probably like 60-40.
So 60. So far, you've been good with your predictions and percentages there, but I do notice that there is a K instead of an L on Vossel's name. I apologize for that, guys. But
dude, it's Vossick.
It's Vossick, dude. It actually
He's
has
so
a kind of
sick.
cool ring to it. But the very first map of this best of 5 series, of course, is Nicarand Arena. Oh, baby. You see what I see, right?
It's a Windwalker dream, dude.
It's the Windwalker dream, but he doesn't have Melman. He has Peach
Did he forget
Gobbler.
Melman?
He has Peach Gobbler.
What happened to Melman?
What is that? That is no Melman.
I mean, Melman hasn't won a tournament, so maybe it's Turkey Day, or yesterday, wasn't it?
Or
was
Turkey
that
Day.
a couple days ago? Yeah, it's Turkey Day, so he's got his turkey out.
It was the 26th. It was close enough. But here we go. The Windwalker Dream is alive and breathing right here. There's the paralysis onto Vossel. The Hodge onto Absurge. It looks like they're trained in the blue, boys. It looks like both Balance and Jeff are going to be on top of Absurge. The DR leg sweep. He's going to have to trinket Link there into another silence, but that's a lot of defensive cooldowns right away.
He actually pre-linked the Strangulate and then Stone formed out of it, so really done from Absterge. He's going to break up that initial setup now. Kappa's team have to survive to the second Strangulate, and it doesn't look like they might be able to. Absterge still getting pressured, and now caught in the Fist of Fury. It might not matter.
Wow.
He was unable to trinket his Stone form, putting his trinket on CD, so I think he was expecting to have to wait for the Strangulate, but Balance didn't care. He's just going to pull the trigger a little bit earlier, and that's kind of what I thought was going to end up happening from the team of Donut. Just train down Absterge on that Resto Shaman, and he doesn't really have a lot of ways to escape. If all the games go like that, I think it's looking pretty grim for Follow Esports.
Dude, that is some serious pressure. Who needs the new gear when, holy moly, I know
Imagine the Fist of Fury with, oh my god, you know why I'm scared?
Oh my gosh. Holy crow, every shaman in chat just cringed a little bit watching that. They're like, oh my gosh, please no. But Jeff and Balance showing no mercy to that blue. But right away, I don't really know. I mean, that pressure was just absurd. I think they got to feel a bit more. But I mean, what can you really do? It was so fast. What an explosive matchup.
I'm scared. I'm trying to kill a rare mob before they queue again because I randomly found it. Do I have time to kill this?
All right, guys. So the next game, the next map is still, to be determined. We're waiting on our admin to go get a decision from these teams. But as soon as we do, we're gonna jump right back into the games. I'm curious to see what these guys are gonna go for next. I mean, Absterge's team. I'm assuming they're gonna go to like maybe I don't know, like Tolvaron maybe. I mean, they definitely want to make it a bit harder for these guys to train the blue. I mean, that's my first assumption.
I mean, unless they go Jungle Cleave and maybe play like Blades as Arena, I don't think map is gonna help Absterge too much. That seemed really hopeless for him. I mean, the only benefiting factor was that they managed to get Capital like Bop. Maybe they would have been able to kill him on Forbearance right after the Bop finished or something, but I don't think he was expecting to die in that setup. Usually you see Windwalker DK go for kills when Strangulate is up. Right. So I think they were probably thinking they were pretty safe to keep going in, and then Balance was like, you know what? Respect my authority. I'm a Windwalker monk. I'm going to smash you.
Yeah,
and,
for real.
He just asserted his dominance with his Fist of Fury.
All right, so we did get a map choice coming out from these guys, and they are going to bring it to Tolvaron Arena, trying to find some sort of advantage of giving a little bit of distance to get away from these guys. But you know, the Windwalker mobility is pretty bananas. I'm curious to see how it's going to work out for them. And I'm curious to see if Follow Esports is going to be changing up their composition. I mean, we haven't seen Absterge really play any other healer in a tournament setting other than a Restoration Shaman. But he has been telling me quite a few times that he was interested in playing a Restoration Druid. Do you think a Druid would have any sort of advantage against a Windwalker DK? It's like so. I feel like I never see like crazy bursts like that coming out from this comp. I mean, it's definitely a unique composition coming out from Team Donut.
I don't know if I would say that Windwalker DK would be Resto Druid Feral Lock would work for them. I don't think it would.
You think? I mean, they could do Resto Druid Jungle, but I mean, still, I'm interested to see as soon as we get the compositions from our. It looks like Team Donut is going to be using a little bit of that delay time. They want to take a little bit of time to figure it out, but both compositions, the exact same compositions, are going to be locked in. So we are going to see the exact same comps from. We're going to see the Windwalker DK, and we're also going to see the FLS from Follow Esports. And here we go. The game has started, and the next map is Tolvaron Arena. Alright guys, welcome to Tolvaron Arena. It is Donut versus Follow Esports. Game number 2 of this best of 5 here at GPL number 1. Walter Bear on the Feral Druid, Vassal on the Affliction Warlock, and Absterge on the Restoration Druid. Going up against Donut, and their damage is terrifying. It is crazy to see the damage output that these guys have. And but Abster's probably taken by surprise a little bit there. Maybe he has something up his sleeve to be able to prevent all of that damage going into game number 2.
I mean, to be fair, Follow Esports is kind of trying to race the damage by going after Kappa. Walter could play a little bit more back. Curious to see if he's going to do that. You can see him rake stunning Jeff on his mount. Now eating a paralyzed, though. Balance moving forward. Looks like they are going to train the blue once again. Absurge behind the pillar. Caught into that leg sweep. Already down to 69% HP. Balance is going to nimble out. Goes for the Chi Torpedo combo. Can Absurge escape? He drops the Spirit Link preemptively, but Jeff is going to hold on to that Strangulate. He tries to Aura Mastery the Strangulate. He doesn't get it, though. Jeff playing very patiently at the moment. Kappa forced to bop himself, though, trying to top himself off with the Avenging Wrath, but Strangulate still available for the next stun setup. Absurge needs to be careful, continue to kite away from both of these guys. We can see Balance reconnecting now. Vassal's pet actually going down. There's the Fist of Fury. He does get Typhooned on it. Well done from Walter Bear, breaking up that stun. Now the full, half Hodge into the full Strangulate. Is he going to Stone Form out? He's forced to Stone Form. He only has one more link remaining. He's trying to hold on to it. Pops the Ascendance, trying to get some heals here, dispelling the Soul Reaper, and he will stabilize without using his final link. Trinket coming up in about 20 seconds, but that next Fist of Fury could be his death. We see Kappa getting cloned up, though. Pressure onto Jeff. He's got to be careful. He's overextending way too far. Down to 2%. Saber the Light is going to proc. Haunt connects. He's trying to stabilize Kappa, forced to bubble, casting heal after heal. They're forced to use the leg sweep defensively onto Walter Bear. Maybe they're going for 100-0 onto him. He's down to 30% HP. Gets the Survival Instincts up. That should be enough to keep him alive. Absurge is going to be sitting pretty comfortable with that Trinket link, and Kappa's really running out of cooldowns. We see the Paralyze onto Absurge. Actually committing to Walter Bear. He's got to be careful here. He's got one more charge. He's going to use the Survival Instincts charge to try and deal with that Fist of Justice. Jeff dipping down to 39%. His AMS is going to be used to try and reduce the magic damage. They're still going after Walter, though, down at 42% HP. Kiting in bear form. He's unable to go offensive at the moment. Absurge finally able to top him off right before that Fist of Fury. Nice Shadow Fury from Vassal as well to stop that. Now that Follow Esports have stabilized, they need to look for the kill.
They need to, and they need to quick, because this pressure, even without offensive cooldowns, is unbelievable. Kappa in the background, he's going to get locked out. Saber the Light is going to proc. He's desperately trying to heal himself through it, and this is just Vassal. Walterberg now getting connection. He's going to maim him up, but everyone on Donut is falling behind. There's the full leg sweep onto Walter Bear, though. He is in bear form preemptively, but is it enough to keep him alive? The Fist of Fury coming out from Balance. Saber the Light popping on Balance as well, though. The pressure from both of these teams is just unbelievable. Kappa finally getting some free casts off, trying to keep his team alive and offensive, and it looks like Follow Esports is a-okay for now, but Vassal actually ports back towards the enemy team. That was a scary moment for him, but Balance so low. He's going to get stunned up by Walter Bear. Walter Bear trying to get a clone off. He's going to get interrupted on that paralysis. Vassal the kill target now for Team Donut, and so far, looking at Kappa's mana, he can't do this forever.
Absurge actually looking for some Lava Burst damage here onto Jeff. Seems like he's kind of the primary target outside of Kappa, which Walter is actually going after. Dark Soul gets popped. Full stun rotation onto Kappa. He's got one more bop. He's got Avenging Wrath, but he's running out of mana. Full Hodge over onto Walter. Absurge able to dispel that. Double Shadow Fury onto Balance and Jeff. Kappa's got so much work ahead of him. Walter actually looking to clone him up at low HP. Maybe he's going to look for a Rebuke on that. Wasn't able to get the clone. Strangulate over onto Absurge. He's got Stone Form. He's got Trinket. He's trying to hold on to it. Vassal able to portal away, starting to kite. Paralyzed chained onto Absurge now. Vassal still in a little bit of trouble. He's got to be careful. Pops the Dark Regeneration, uses that Hellstone, and now there's really no openings for Donut. Kappa's completely out of mana. Incarnation comes off cooldown, and Follow Esports have survived to their victory point here. Incarnation gets popped. Kappa has basically nothing to try and stay alive with no 7% mana. Pops the Avenging Wrath, trying to pick himself back up. He has to deal with so many interrupts. He fakes the Skull Bash. There's only a counterspell remaining. Will he be able to cast himself to full? And that fake on the Skull Bash is keeping him in the game to try and rotate some pressure onto Absurge with that full Hodge over on him. He's got his Trinket. He's got 2 links. He just needs to not be greedy, or he's going to go down. He's going to drop the Spirit Link, not playing it greedy. He sees how much pressure his team has. Offensive and defensive Touch of Karma, though. Out from Balance, the damage is still not stopping onto Absurge. Kappa keeping his team alive despite only having 2% mana, trying to keep the pressure onto Absurge, dipping now below 50% HP. He's got one more link available, trying to hold on to it as long as possible. Walter looking for a clone defensively, does get locked out, though, by Jeff. Kappa is a god. How is he still alive? alive with no mana. Full Hodge into Absurge. He's forced to trinket. He drops the link into the full Strangulate. Balance gets cloned up. Kappa trying to keep his team in this game desperately. Full maim onto Kappa. He's going to trinket that, trying to do whatever he can with what he has. Fist of Fury onto Absurge to try and finish him off. Vassal popping Dark Soul to try and rotate some counter pressure as well. Both teams still in so much trouble. Chi explosion onto Absurge. D-Yard leg sweep. Soul Reaper needs to go up if they want to take the game. He's down at 7%, and they're both going to die, I think. Jeff goes down first. Balance moves in to try and finish off Absurge. He's playing it out to the bitter end, and somehow Absurge is going to cling on to life. Balance still going after him, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it, and Follow Esports are able to take a game back against Donut.
That's insane, man. How did Kappa keep his team alive to be able to put that much pressure? That was so close. Kappa at 3% mana, Absurge with a trinket and 2 links available to them, but still, it was so very close. Oh, unbelievable play from both of these teams, but Follow Esports was able to survive through it, and now it is tied up 1-1 going into game number 3 here. I am speechless when it comes to the play that both of these teams are showing us here today.
That was intense, dude. Kappa, like,
wow,
running on fumes, did not give up, refused to go down without a fight, and they almost had it.
It looks like Dalaran Sewers is going to be the next map choice, and I mean, I don't know if Absurge is going to be able to survive the way he did on Tolvaron Arena. Dalaran Sewers is much smaller. There is much fewer places for him to be able to run to, and that was an issue for them, as Vassal and Wallbear doing a great job peeling his double melee off of his Shaman. But on Dalaran Sewers, how much peeling can you actually do, really? But as soon as we're ready, we're going to jump right back into the game, guys. Follow Esports versus Team Donut. And Q has popped. I'll guys see you in Dalaran Sewers in just 1 second. Welcome to Dalaran Sewers, everybody. It's Follow Esports versus Donut. Walter Bear, Vassal, and Absurge representing the FLS, going up against Jeff, Balance, and Kappa, running that Windwalker DK, that Walking Dead cleave. And so far, this has been such a close series, and we are on Dalaran Sewers. We're on an itty-bitty map.
Absurge isn't going to be able to kite nearly as effectively on this map, I don't think. Let's see how well he can do, if he can survive. The tied 1-1 between Follow Esports and Donut. Balance running in again. Walter Bear stunning him up, already down to half HP. Jeff desecrating grounding. They're going for the all-in once again onto Absurge, already down to 50% HP. He's going to Aura Mastery to try and immune that Strangulate, but once again, Jeff playing it patiently. He knows that Absurge is desperate in that opening phase, and he's going to blow cooldowns regardless, so baiting that Aura Mastery out. A full Hex actually landed onto Kappa with the Aura Mastery. He's capitalizing on that really well, and that Hex getting so much pressure on the Balance. They might get an early touch of Karma out from him. There's the full leg sweep onto Absurge, though. He's got to be careful. Strangulate still available. Balance dipping low as well. Fist of Fury follows it up. He trinkets out of the Strangulate and the Fist of Fury. A little bit of an overlap from Donut does allow Absurge to escape that using only his trinket. Still has Ascendance remaining. He's trying to kite away, but he just can't get away from Balance and Jeff at the moment. Trying to kite and Ghost Wolf. Walter now finally able to peel with these rake stuns, but Balance able to reconnect. Jeff doing his best to try and get there as well. This next stun could be his death if he can get Soul Reaper up. Jeff not able to connect. He grips the clone. They need to stop this cyclone. He AMSs to immune it. Fist of Fury follows it up, and Donut are going to take game number 3 in style here. And you can see the map paint it so favorable for them here on Dalaran Sewers. Now, where do we go to next?
That's the question, man. Where do we go to next? Poor Absurge could not catch a break through the crazy amount of pressure Donut offered right there. But look at Wallabear just jumping up and getting the stuns over onto Jeff. I mean, these guys are just trying desperately to peel these guys off of their blue. And regardless, Absurge is still going to go down here in game number 3. And that's going to make Donut catch a lead 2-1 in GPL number 1.
All of those clone stops, dude. Like, he gripped him on a clone, he AMS the clone. Like, there were like 3, and then they kicked him on the clone at the end. I think it was Kappa that kicked him on the clone. He got Dark Simmed on one clone, so Walter took a global to get rid of the Dark Sim. Then he got gripped on the next clone. Then he AMS to immune the next clone, and then Kappa rebuked him on the 4th clone. Walla wanted to do nothing but peel and just couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, you just see him desperately running around with his incarnation, getting those stuns off, and then like those cyclones constantly being interrupted. I mean, that does take quite a bit of awareness, especially when you are so tunnel visioned on that blue. That blue's got to go down. But first, cyclones need to be interrupted, and you know, you definitely see the level of play. These guys may just look like they're just training down this one healer, but I mean, if they weren't stopping all the CC going their way, it would be a much different story. But Dalaran Sewers, that gave them a pretty significant advantage. I'm interested to see where FollowEsports is going to bring the next game here. Oh, and we actually just got a map choice coming in from Clutter, and Tiger's Peak is going to be the next map choice coming from FollowEsports. And Tiger's Peak, a bit like Nagrand Arena, it's pretty even, but a lot more places to run and hide than Dalaran Sewers for sure.
Yeah, I still think it's pretty favored for the Windwalker DK, and Jeff is playing it really well. He knows that Absurge is the most scared in that first stun, so he's just holds on to the Strangulite. He knows that Absurge is going to have to use something preemptively, but I did like that Absurge took the time after he realized that the Ore Master is baited to get a Hex instead. Like, he still capitalized even on getting baited on that to get some CC for his team. I feel like attacking the Windwalker is a bit of a trap, though.
Yeah.
I feel like when they were attacking Jeff a lot, he just wasn't able to actually connect to Absturge, and they just kind of sat on him for a really, really long time. I think Jeff would be a better target for them to kind of just sit on. They've still got, like, imagine if balanced Touch of Karma defensively, like Absturge would have got overkilled by like 100k or something. So
yeah, I mean, that was
like
a big
risk.
reason to why they fell behind on Dalaran, I feel. Or not on Dalaran, that was a big reason why they came back on the Grand Arena. Or was it Tolvaron? Sorry, these maps are getting confusing. But there was a point where Absturge had every button available to them, and they were killing Balance, and Balance offensively Touch of Karma. And all of a sudden, Absturge was really scared. That Touch of Karma nearly got one Trinket Link to begin with, and then after that, even more pressure, got another link. So I mean, that Karma can be very, very scary, especially if Balance is the kill target. But we saw at the end of the game, everyone started getting low, and everyone was just hovering at low health. But then all of a sudden, Balance got low, and he just died. He just died to dots. And I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see how both of these teams are going to be adapting going into Tiger's Peak. But it's been so close so far. 1-2 series, FollowEsports versus Donut. And both teams staying the same composition, but here we go. The gates are opening. I'm going to go ahead and follow Balance out of the gate this time around.
Yeah, he's mounted up. Walter going to the center of the map. Pounce stunning Balance, trying to get onto Jeff now, slowing his movement a little bit. Absurge actually already lining up a lava burst for Jeff, saying, "You better not go on me. I am a fiery devil, and I will chuck these at you." Balance, though, now being the target, dipping down to half HP with a nice clone over onto Kappa. Baited his shield wall actually a little bit, popping the Avenging Wrath now aggressively. It looks like they might want to be going onto a different target on this map. Absurge looking for a Hex. There's a Paralyze on Absurge. Actually going onto Vossel. He's got to be prepared for this. They can switch targets. They don't need to just go after Absturge. So Absurge trying to line up a big heal for that Fist of Fury. Gets strangulated on the follow-up. He's forced to Stone Farm. Vossel dipping dangerously low. Absurge trying to get in range to Link. Drops the Link with the Hellstone. Walter getting inside of that now as well. But they get the Stone Form and the Link almost the same way as that they were attacking him. I'm curious if they're going to make a swap back to Absurge a little bit later.
Well, that was a very scary moment for Vossel as he dipped nearly into that Touch of Death range where he would for sure die. But Absurge pushing in, getting that Spirit Link, feels like just in the nick of time. But it looks like Kipo is taking a bit of pressure from Walter Bear at this point. A Cyclone does land onto Bounce as well, but Absurge is the kill target. The full Hodge lands. He's going to force another Trinket Link out of Absurge, and he is just about tapped. Nothing left but Ascendance and Aura Mastery. This is getting scary. Now Vossel's the one who is the kill target once again. Kipo in the back line, though, taking a whole bunch of pressure from Walter Bear. They're just both trading blow for blow. The bubbles finally forced from Kipo from Walter Bear, and it looks like both teams are starting to stabilize a little bit here.
Jeff stole that Cyclone, used it onto Absurge. How much CC do they have out of it? Are they going to swap to him out of the clone? Seems like an offensive AMS out from Jeff. They are going to go into Absurge. He has nothing left. He's surely going to go down. Vossel feeling for his life, though. Double Shadow Fury into the Fear. Does not matter. Fist of Fury going to be finishing him off with that Frost Strike, and Donut are going to 3-1 FollowEsports and advance in the winner's side of the bracket.
They are going to go ahead and advance. It is a best-of-5 series, guys, and that is the third game for Donut, but FollowEsports isn't out of it just yet. This is a double elimination bracket. They'll be dropping down to fight their way back in the lower bracket. But wow, what an amazing amount of pressure Donut has. I know whoever Donut's about to face in the winner bracket, I don't care what composition you are, I'd be relatively scared because they can global you.
If you're a paladin, you're feeling pretty good, I think.
If you're a paladin,
I think
if
you're not
if
a
you're a holy
shaman,
warrior of plate, you should be okay.
if you're not a shaman,
If
then
you're not a blue,
probably okay.
if you're not a blue, you're a okay. All right, guys.